Well, people claim they see all sorts of things, so why should we take the claims of the disciples seriously? How do we know their testimony is reliable and they were not simply making the appearances up? Well, in our previous series, we've already established the New Testament is very early and reliable in what it reports, so there is plenty of evidence their testimony is reliable. But putting that aside, we should at least evaluate when eyewitness testimony is unreliable. For instance, when events happen quickly or over a period of a few seconds, it is hard to retain memory of an event. Or when people go out looking for what they want to find. People that are desperately desiring to find Bigfoot will sometimes fool themselves into thinking they found something. Or when the participants are all strangers, like during a bank robbery. It is hard to retain memory when you are around unfamiliar people. And last, it is hard to retain memory if there was a weapon involved, for the simple reason that everyone is focused on the weapon and not anything else. However, if we examine the resurrection reports, none of these seem to be a factor. There is certainly not a weapon involved, and it is not with strangers. The disciples are familiar with each other and who they are witnessing they believe had risen. The disciples were also not expecting Jesus to rise from the dead. All the accounts embarrassingly report that the disciples had misunderstood the scriptures and what Jesus had claimed, and they did not expect him to come back. And the reports do not seem to happen quickly, but over a period of time, where Jesus would eat and drink with them and engage in conversations or give them instructions. Even if you could write off the Gospels and Acts as later myths, we still have preserved for us early creeds and oral sermons handed down which report these as well. So the reports on the surface level do not match circumstances that create unreliable testimony.